It's amazing how Canada figured it out. It is amazing. How did Canada figure out how to live? God. You know, I'm not too far from Canada. Not too far. Look at the beautiful scenery. Can't really see the autumnal colors. Actually, if I flipped it around, look right there. There's some autumnal colors. Oh yeah, right there. That's picture perfect. There you go. Welcome. I'm Rob. This is the live stream. I go live 5 days a week. Sometimes I just can't sit down. I got to do this live stream in between other things. But if you hit subscribe and help me crack 7 million subscribers, and hit the notification bell so you can join me. What's up, Solus? When I do go live, then I'll be able to set aside specific times to do this live stream. Right now, when you hit subscribe, I tell you, listen, you got to hit the notification bell so that way you'll know when I go live. Or join the Discord. The Discord alerts people. Discord link down below. I'm going to talk about how Canada figured it out. We're going to briefly go over how Stevie Nicks is an icon, and she's going back to Saturday Night Live tomorrow night. I don't know if you like Saturday Night Live. I don't watch it live anymore. I don't have TV, but I definitely watch it on YouTube. Thank God they post all their stuff to YouTube. So definitely check out Stevie Nicks this weekend on Saturday Night Live. Also, I know just yesterday I was talking about how science is replicating the octopus infundibulum. I don't know what it's called. The octopus little sucker has a scientific name, and science is replicating that so they can use it in technology. And now today I read a story, no joke, that they've created a spider webbing material that can lift 30 times or 80 times its own weight. So, I mean, we're not at peak Spider-Man form yet, but they're creating like a web slinging material, a liquid web that can be shot through a needle, and when it hits the air, I'm guessing, forms into a web sticky matter state and can pick things up. So it's amazing. Tarush Singh, hi, new here. Hit subscribe. Welcome. We're getting web shooters soon. 100% soulless. So, and I linked that article down below because it's a fascinating read that we're already breaking through on Spider-Man technology. We just need to find a radioactive spider. But that's cool as hell, and I would love to see that. I mean, you got to also figure, like, to have that web slinging feature, they say they shoot it through a needle, but you have to have some kind of, not like a gun, but like some kind of fine-tipped device that can shoot that web at a high velocity. So, I mean, we're getting there. Thank God there are scientists, because we never got the hoverboard from Back to the Future, but thank God there are scientists working on Spider-Man technology now. Hi, Pookie. Welcome, everybody. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I do a live news commentary. I call it newsmentary. Live stream every single weekday. And look, I'm broadcasting from the beautiful, see the autumnal colors, the autumn colors, the foliage. Look at this. I'm giving you guys on today's live stream, I'm letting you guys do some leaf peeping. Some leaf peeping. People pay a lot of money to come up to New Hampshire and do leaf peeping. I'm up in New Hampshire because there's no sales tax and I had to make a couple of purchases. So you come up here, you don't got to pay taxes on stuff, and you drive back across the border. Allegedly. But yeah, they don't have taxes up here. So, can't be calling others Pookie. That's their name. I'm assuming that account, Pookie, I think it's a cat in the avatar. I'm assuming a cat is watching me on YouTube as opposed to us usually watching cats on YouTube. So I really appreciate that account because I imagine cats have kind of got autonomy in some places in the world and they've just started YouTube accounts. And cats are not only creating those videos where you see a cat playing the piano or a cat barfing and it's a cat behind the camera filming them, but I'd like to imagine a world where cats are also enjoying YouTube. Cats watching cats play the piano. Do I read classics by any chance? Everything I read is a classic. What kind of classics are you talking about? I do like to read Not necessarily all the classics. Right now, I'm reading the book by the Doors drummer, John Densmore, called Unhinged. And then when I get home, I got to check the mail because I got one of my Hunter S. Thompson books. Hello, Isabella. Isabella! That makes me think of Encanto. No, I haven't. But Pookie, you should join the Discord because we have a book recommendation, a book club, and you should totally put that in our Discord link down below. I also link all the articles down below. But Tolstoy, I've heard the name, and now you're going to force me to read it because now you've piqued my interest. But so briefly, I just want to go over again what I was talking about for the news. If you're not watching Saturday Night Live, they put all their on Sunday morning, they upload all the content from Saturday Night Live onto YouTube. You can watch it there. And Stevie Nicks is going to be performing since the first time since 1983, I think. And there's a fascinating story about her, somebody she was going to perform with in 1983, getting stage fright. Because could you imagine doing SNL live and being a band and going out there? You're not a comic. You're just there to perform. And you got the greatest comedy minds looking at you, watching you. Whew, that'd be terrifying. AI version of myself. Oh, that'd be interesting. And Pookie, thank you for the recommendation. Anna Karenina. I will. And I really hope you join our Discord so you can leave some more book recommendations. I love when people recommend books. So that's why we have the Discord for stuff like this. All right. So I gave you that knowledge. We talked about they're developing Spider-Man tech. This is the other reason why I read another story about how a lot of species and a lot of wildlife is on the verge of collapse in the world. That's why it's so important to preserve that wildlife, because we are inspired. Think about how many comic book heroes get their mantra, their mantle, their whatever you want, or their character from an animal or a bug or an insect or whatever, you know? Without the wildlife, man, this earth is going to suck. And I think that's what the billionaires want. It was funny, somebody the other day was talking about Elon Musk, you know, bragging about how he wants to colonize Mars. And they were like, yeah, because they did such a good job with this fucking planet. Like these billionaires. What are they? My daughter always would be like, what do they want to do on Mars? You can't breathe the air. You can't walk around. There's no Grand Canyon. There's no beautiful forest. There's no leaf peeping. What are you going to do on Mars? They just want to have a colony for workers. That's it. And then I put some articles about Trump down below because it turns out he is much stupider than you think. Fascinating that they rate all the presidential candidates on their speaking. And I guess Trump speaks at a 4th grade level. He probably reads at a 4th grade level too. But I don't, know how valid that is, because I thought so many of these presidential candidates have speechwriters and people meticulously curating everything they say when they go out in public. But Trump goes off the cuff way more than any other president probably ever. And it was fascinating to see this article, how they've ranked. And he came in like the bottom 15th of, or worst of the last 15 presidents. He said Jimmy Carter had the highest, which he only spoke at an 11th grade level. And I thought, that's so funny. I bet America is at like a 6th grade speaking level. God knows I am. But it's a fascinating read on how they've ranked, like, presidents within the history of recording or being able to witness this and rank it on an educational level. And Trump came in at a 4th grade. You hook like Brandon Herrera. You're right. I got a sick hook. I'm just kidding, Kirk. I don't know who Brandon Herrera is. And if that was my last name, that's how I would say it. I'd introduce myself as Brandon, like a lawnmower that's dying. So it's fascinating to find out that Trump speaks at a 4th grade level. I mean, if you didn't know that already, then donut operator on YouTube. Oh, cool. What's a donut operator? He operates the donuts. Sick. I'll check him out though. Brandon, he should operate some kind of big machinery with a last name like that. Sounds like one. So that was a lot of the news. Shoot. I've gotten so sidetracked. He's an ex-cop. Also a cop simp. Oh, then please don't compare me to him. Please don't me. Donut operator. I got you now, Kirk. Oh, snap. That was funny. Yeah, there's a lot of hardos on YouTube. I don't want to be one. I just like having fun, making fun of shit. Everything is on limits. Almost everything. Everybody has a little safe space they like to keep deep down in the cockles of their heart, right? It really is beautiful up here. I'll tell you what, coming up to the seaside part of New Hampshire, I'm just giving you guys a little sneak peek. You can't really see it. I parked here because there's some beautiful foliage. Working so much, I feel like 3 planets away from Earth. Oh, I hate to hear that. You're in Maine? Oh, I'm right down the road, homie. I'm right down the road. I came up to New Hampshire. I don't live in New Hampshire. I came up here to do some errands. But yeah, so I'm probably 15 minutes from Maine right now. And with traffic going back to Boston, Jesus Christ, it's going to be an hour. I'm pissed. The majority of our youth graduate and are at a 5th grade level of majority skill test. Thank you to our public schools and laws. True facts. I believe it. That's what I was saying. I was wondering. I said 6th. I believe it's a 5th grade. You're just in Boston this morning? Yeah, Boston. Trying to get back to Boston. I live on the Lynn border. So getting to where I live is the worst thing in the world. It's so horrible. I actually make a point to not do shit when it's like this, but I had to come up here because I don't have my wife's car all weekend, so I had to do this stuff. So, but that's fascinating that the majority of Americans, and see, this is why we should be pushing for not only universal healthcare, but a better investment in our school system. Like better schools, a restructuring of the schools. Schools should not be a 7 to 3 o'clock thing. They shouldn't be a whatever it is, 7 to 2, 7 to 3, 8 to 3, 8 to 2. I don't know. They should be totally redesigned and they should be very creative. We should want our kids to be the smartest in the world. Not just like if you have kids like I do, but I'm saying like I want my community's children to be the best educated. That should be something we were proud of, and I hate that. But man, who was that? Scott Brewer. What you brought up speaks to why Trump hits such chords with people, because he's speaking at a 4th grade level. Most people's comprehension and skills are at a 5th grade level, so he's speaking their fucking language. And if you get a president like Jimmy Carter who's speaking at, an 11th grade level, people are like, oh, hoity-toity, Mr. 11th grade over there. And it's sad, man. And I'm not claiming no different. Listen, it took me 5 years to get out of high school. I dropped out. I worked for a year. So, I mean, I'm not saying I'm like the best educated, but I am saying that school sucks. It's a horrible ancient institution, and it can be redeveloped and reimagined. And I think we owe it to kids, especially with how quick technology and everything changes nowadays, and especially the way we can study things and get better results and take, like think 50, 60, 70 years ago, right? In the 50s, if they wanted to do some kind of polling or whatever, it had to be person to person. We have this great technology where, like in radio, for instance, if you don't know, I worked in radio for 20 years. And in radio, they went from sending out journals where people would say what they listened to, they would just write it down and send it back in. And you were just going on people's memory, which wasn't reliable. You needed good branding to stick in their memory, because they would say they listen to one thing and they really didn't. And nowadays they have PPMs, people something meters, some people person meters. I don't know what the fuck it stands for. And they carry them with them, and they can't, if they stop moving for 5 minutes, it shuts off or it alerts them. Again, I never used one because I was on the other side of that. That's how we got our ratings. And it will get a signal from the radio station. It's an embedded signal. Same with the podcast. This is how these radio stations get ratings to get revenue from advertising. But the technology now has allowed us to do stuff like that, where you can actually measure accurately what they're listening to, for how long, where they're listening to it, what they're listening to. Like, it's so much better. So that's why with schools and stuff like that, it's like we have the technology to totally fucking redesign this whole thing, and it's so sad. We owe it to our people. What's up, Alvin from Indonesia? What part of Indonesia? I've never been, but it sounds fascinating. I'm not sure what my political alignment is. Never thought about it. And that's good, Kirk. Good. You don't need an alignment. That's the biggest thing I'm against. No alignments. 0. Don't fucking put me in a box. I ain't red. I ain't what's the other one? Blue, purple, I ain't yellow. I'm a little green, but goddamn, political alignment is the absolute poison of our society. I always, whenever I hear like people like, oh, you're liberal, you're conservative, you're this, you're that, I just think of the Super Bowl and how even when people that don't watch football all year, they align with a team and then they become monsters at the game. You know, people that have no allegiance to that city, the team, the players, nothing, which you really shouldn't. Those multimillionaires playing a high school sport for that fucking, that much spotlight is kind of embarrassing. But I always think of the Super Bowl when it comes to politics because people who, again, have no allegiance to nothing will all of a sudden become fanatics about one team, and you know they'll be dicks for no reason. You'll be like, you ain't even from that city. What are you talking about? Ah, well, my uncle knew a guy one time who once was from visited Dallas on a long weekend, and you're like, shut the fuck up, man. Uh-oh, I got some people next to me. I thought you were talking about vehicle alignment. I was like, yes, I sure do. I only align with what I think is very good. All right, Scott. Hey, thank you for that information. This is why, listen, Scott, if you could do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I can't guarantee when I go live. I just give you my word that Monday through Friday, I do go live. And it was rad having you in here, man. You broke off some good information. And that's why I love going live. That's why I'm better than Philly DeFranco. He records his, I go live. He once in a while gives you an opinion. My whole thing is news-mentary, news commentary. That's the whole thing that I'm doing. So it would be rad if you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified. And if you want to join the Discord, link down below. Also, if you come across this later and you want to read any of the articles I'm talking about, they're down below. Actually, speaking of needing to get going, it's almost 4:20, folks. I gotta get on the road. On the road again. Appreciate it, Scott. I'm trying to crack 7 million subs. I know you're saying, hey, Rob, you're at 1,500. Calm down. But you can never, if you shoot for the moon, you'll land amongst the stars. Isn't that a magnet that I have somewhere? I think it is. So, you know, go big or go home. That's what I say. And if I don't make it, oh, well, we tried, folks. We tried. I can do it. I believe I can do it, Curtis. So listen, guys, I just want to stop in quickly because I still got a sick son at home, which has just been brutal. Poor kid. Goes back to school. He's been sick basically since he went back to school. That's the other thing. Schools are a little petri dish. Have a good one, Solus. Oh, yeah. Listen, I'll be around this weekend in the Discord. I'm making a point to set aside some time. But listen, the other thing is Fortnite Mares. I don't know if you play Fortnite. Fortnite Mares was supposed to drop today. It's dropping tomorrow, Saturday morning at 2 a.m. So I might do some live streaming from Fortnite Mares. And if anybody plays Fortnite, yo, please jump in the Discord. We have your little bro too, Curtis. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. It sucks when kids are sick or when somebody you love is sick. But listen, if you guys play Fortnite, join the Discord, leave your handle there. Let's play together. All right, so I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, links of everything I talked about in the description. I can't wait till we have a Spider-Man technology and a suit and all that stuff. Do some reading this weekend. Be good to your brain. And I will catch you, well, again, I might be going live. If you see a live stream alert and it says something about Fortnite Mares, the Halloween spectacular for Fortnite is happening this weekend. So I might jump in there. And if you want to play, yo, let's team up. It's all my son and his friends on there. I need some people, some adults we can go in and smoke these kids, teach them a lesson. Make them stop calling me noob. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can join me when I return on Monday through Friday. Unless maybe I'll go live this weekend. I don't know. I got to get into the Discord. We'll figure it out. All right. Peace.